So when she walked in, she was super loud. Her voice was extremely recognizable. And she was like, she looked up, she was like, oh.
I loved Blake Lively. Then she followed me to my car.
Blake Lively just did something no one saw coming. Instead of flashing her usual megawatt smile, she was caught in full meltdown mode, chasing down a fan in a Texas hotel parking lot like she was starring in her own true crime documentary. Phones were out, cameras were rolling, but this time, it wasn't the fan filming the celebrity. It was Blake flipping the script and recording the poor girl like she was gathering evidence for the FBI. What exactly went down? Why did Blake act like she was on an undercover sting operation? And has Hollywood's sweetheart officially lost it? Let's break it all down.
I think she said hi to the two. It was a man and a woman at the front. And, the woman kind of like went like this.
Picture this. You're staying at a fancy hotel, sipping on overpriced cocktails, and then you hear whispers that a VIP guest is on the premises. If you're a celeb lover, of course, your ears perk up. That's exactly what happened to Caitlin, who was at the Hotel 1928 in Waco, Texas with her mom. And when she found out the mystery celeb was none other than Gossip Girl royalty, Blake Lively, she did what any normal person would do. She tried to catch a glipsock.
Is she Blake Lively? So,
She spotted Blake strolling through the lobby, dressed casually, but making a whole lot of noise. Naturally, Caitlin pulled out her phone to grab a quick video.
I think she said hi to the two. It was a man and a woman at the front. And, the woman kind of like went like this because like she was excited.
But here's where things get weird. Blake apparently noticed she was being filmed, and instead of playing it cool, like a seasoned celeb, she covered her face and acted all secretive. Girl? You're literally one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. What did you expect?
Very obvious to her as a celebrity what was going on. She was dressed in normal clothes, like kind of, definitely nothing fancy. They grab a hat for her. She comes back out, and I had stopped recording at that point.
Okay, so the lobby moment was awkward, but it should have ended there, right? Wrong. Because the next morning, things went from, oops, I got caught on camera, to full-blown celebrity paranoia.
And they ended up doing things to harass her own fan.
Caitlin and her mom were loading up their car to leave when suddenly, Blake Lively appears out of nowhere, phone in hand, and starts recording them. The A-lister, the red carpet darling, the social media queen, was filming a random fan in a parking lot.
Trying to stay hidden. We were checking out, and we were loading up our car, and so I heard a hi, first of all, and it was a woman's voice, and I looked up, and we had already finished with the valet, so it was like, what's going on? I looked up, see her, she's got her phone up.
Imagine casually tossing your suitcase into your trunk, only to look up and see Blake freaking Lively creeping around your car like she's investigating a crime scene. And she wasn't just holding her phone up for fun, oh no. She circled the car like a lion about to pounce.
And out of instinct, I just said hi back, because what do you say? She did like a circle of the car. I just was putting my stuff in the car because I was really caught off guard, and my mom, just went to the driver's side.
And the strangest part? She even filmed their license plate. Like, Blake, honey, what were you gonna do with that information? Call the Instagram police? File a report with the Department of Fans who took a video? It's giving conspiracy theorists energy, and we are not okay. And if that wasn't bad enough, she then handed her phone to her security guard, who did another round around their car, like some sort of Hollywood spy mission. Girl, you're famous, not in the CIA.
And then, I could tell she aimed it towards the license plates, and then handed it off to her security guy, and then he did kind of another lap around the passenger side, and then they both went back.
If you think this mess ended in the parking lot, think again, because things took an even creepier turn when Caitlin started getting mysterious Instagram views. After the whole bizarre encounter, Caitlin posted a quick story about it on Instagram, and within minutes, she noticed that someone from Hotel 1928, as well as a mysterious woman, allegedly connected to Blake's team, had viewed her story.
And all of a sudden, after that weekend, an onslaught of harassment and stalking and bullying started to happen to her on her social media account on Instagram. And she decided to create a TikTok to explain what was going on because she had no idea what was happening to her.
Caitlyn was just sharing her awkward encounter online, and suddenly, it felt like she was being monitored. And not in a haha, this is funny way, more like a why does it feel like I'm being digitally stalked by Blake's PR team kind of way.
And she decided to create a TikTok to explain what was going on because she had no idea what was happening to her.
I mean, did Blake Lively sit down with a team of social media ninjas and go, all right, team, track down every single post about me and make sure this fan doesn't expose my parking lot meltdown?
And now she's had to speak out because it was terrifying for her.
And when Caitlyn took her story to TikTok, the internet trolls descended on her. She started getting harassed by anonymous accounts, with strangers ripping her apart online. And let's be real, who else would care enough to send an army of trolls after a random fan? Blake's PR team might not be saying anything, but their actions are speaking loud and clear.
The ordinary celebrity encounter quickly turned into a nightmare that Cooper says left her disturbed.
Blake Lively may have thought she was just protecting her privacy, but what if the situation takes a legal turn? Could Caitlyn Cooper, the fan at the center of it all, actually sue Blake for harassment or intimidation? It might sound like a stretch, but in Hollywood, lawsuits happen over far less.
This is wild.
Let's be real. What she did was weird. If Caitlyn Cooper, the fan in question, really wanted to, she could totally flip the script and hit Blake with a harassment lawsuit. And you know what? She might actually have a case.
And some were anonymous, some weren't. Some were like literally calling her like fat, or like they changed their name to Fat and Fabulous, so they called her fat and then put her wedding date in there as their username. Like, it was really a lot of bullying going on. I will be linking her TikTok and her Instagram below if you guys want to check out any of this stuff. Some of the responses from complete strangers online have been so harsh.
Let's break it down. If someone randomly approached you in a parking lot, circled your car while filming, then handed their phone to a muscle-bound security guard who did it all over again, would you feel safe? No. You'd be double-checking your car for a tracking device and calling your mom. It's one thing for a celebrity to say, hey, please don't film me, but Blake didn't even speak. She just lurked, filmed, and walked away.
Lively didn't say anything further, but circled her car, holding up her phone as if she were videotaping the encounter, and at one point even aiming the camera towards her license plate.
And let's talk about the security guard for a second. Was he there for moral support, backup camera angles, a second opinion on the lighting? Because it's giving mafia boss sends henchmen to handle unfinished business. If this case ever saw the inside of a courtroom, you can bet Cooper's lawyer would be eating this up.
She then handed her phone off to her security guy, and he did another lap around the passenger side, and then they both went back in to the hotel.
Now, will Cooper actually sue? Probably not. But even if she doesn't, this whole ordeal is enough to give Blake a little PR headache.
Once the Instagram stories views from her team, hotel staff, and harassment accounts began popping up, it then became disturbing.
Celebrities get filmed all the time. It's part of the job, and most A-listers know how to handle it without making a scene. Keanu Reeves? The man will literally pose with fans mid-walk like it's no big deal. Taylor Swift? She's out here sending gifts to fans just for existing. And even Beyoncé, who has every right to demand a security team the size of a small army, just flashes a quick smile and keeps it moving.
None of them are covering any of the evidence.
But Blake? Instead of brushing it off like every other celeb, she went straight into detective mode. Not a polite, hey, I'd rather not be filmed. Nope. She pulled out her phone, circled this poor girl's car like she was scanning for evidence. Like, what's next? A full license plate background check? A PowerPoint presentation on why Caitlyn should delete the video? Sis, you are famous, not a secret agent.
And I feel as though if this was a normal case, or this wasn't a protected Hollywood elite who, you know, has connections with the mainstream media, we would be seeing this stuff coming out in full force.
Now, you know the internet never stays quiet when a celeb has a meltdown, and Blake's parking lot antics. Oh, fans were eating this up like free drama at a family reunion.
Responses from complete strangers online have been so harsh.
One fan commented, "Everyone has a right to privacy in their home or on their property. However, out in public, there is no right to privacy for celebrities or the general public. We're all empowered to ask not to be filmed, but it's not illegal if the request is ignored. The lady in the story had a right to film, just as much as Blake had a right to film back. They just both missed the opportunity to smile and fly both birds for the camera." Another person wrote, "They both have a right in the legal sense, sure, but a celebrity like Blake Lively doing so in a retaliatory fashion the next day is psychotic and nowhere near the same. The fan was doing it out of admiration because Lively has become a millionaire by choosing to work in the most public-facing job that exists on Earth. Lively was doing it as an act of hostility for revenge, with the intent to make the girl uncomfortable. And then there were the people trying to defend her, saying things like, fan stalked and recorded Blake first, without consent, then Blake found fan and recorded her back. Now fan is mad? Okay, fair, but let's be real here. A fan taking a quick blurry video in a hotel lobby is not the same as a stalker hiding in the bushes with night vision goggles.
My degree's in PR. From a PR perspective, I think it's so interesting how this stuff...
Some fans even brought up the Justin Baldoni lawsuit, saying, so she files an harassment lawsuit and then harasses a fan? She files a lawsuit because she was shamed about her weight, then harassed same fan about her weight. BL is human only human, and she has her head in the clouds thinking she's immortal royalty. What she is dealing out will come back to her tenfold. You cannot treat others this way and expect to have a blissful life.
We are gathered here today to read the receipts. We have all come together as a coalition to fight this injustice that has happened to Justin Baldoni, Jamie Heath, Wayfair, and Jennifer Abel, and everybody else that has been impacted negatively by Blake and Ryan's incessant narcissistic bullying.
But the general consensus? Blake turned a tiny situation into a full-blown scandal for no reason. If she had just ignored the fan or politely asked not to be filmed, none of this would be happening. Instead, she turned into Detective Lively, and now she's the one making headlines.
There has been a code of silence, and it's, and instead of, and not just silence, but attacking people who are covering this.
Now, we gotta ask, what is happening with Blake Lively lately? First, she's caught up in a messy legal battle with her It Ends With Us co-star, Justin Baldoni. And now, she's allegedly out here stalking fans in Texas parking lots.
Instead of covering the case, they are, and looking at our receipts and trying to, report on it, they're now...
Is Hollywood stress finally getting to her? Is she on edge because of the lawsuit? Or is she just having a serious bad day? Because this is not the chill, goofy Blake we're used to seeing. I mean, where's the energy she had on Twitter, cracking jokes with Ryan Reynolds? Where's the playful, carefree Blake who used to poke fun at her own Gossip Girl memes? Instead, we've got a super paranoid, super defensive Blake who's acting like she's running from the feds.
Tying it to this misogynistic right-wing agenda to pipeline people in some type of political agenda?
Listen, we get it. Celebrities deserve privacy. They don't owe fans 24/7 access. But this was straight up weird. Like, girl, you are not in an FBI stakeout. You are Blake Lively. Act like it. This whole situation is embarrassing, but not for Caitlyn. So what do you guys think? Is Blake just super stressed from her lawsuit drama, or is this a sign that she's officially lost touch with reality? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.